Hey there, Kipster. Welcome to science class. If you do not have something to write with and on, pause the video, go ahead and grab that now. All right, we are going to be jumping into properties of materials. That's what our unit is called, properties of materials. And if you don't know what those words mean yet, that is okay. We are going to talk about it. Now, the first word that I want you to learn is engineer. Say that. Engineer. An engineer is a scientist who invents, designs, or builds something to solve a problem. I want you to think a long time ago when they first opened schools. Students didn't have anywhere to sit. They were sitting on the ground, they were writing on the ground, and it was a big problem. So an engineer, a scientist who invents, designs, or builds something to solve a problem, came along and thought, how can I solve this problem? What can I invent or build to help students have a place to sit and write on? So an engineer invented a desk. Now, our big question that we have this year, say big question. Our big question is, why do we use different materials for different things? Why do we use different materials for different things? I want you to think about that. Why would an engineer use wood and metal to build a desk instead of using a material like glass? Why do we use different materials for different things? I want you to keep that question in your head while we keep moving. Now, like I said, an engineer is a scientist who invents, designs, or builds something to solve a problem. And I said that we are learning about properties of materials. And our big question is, why do we use different materials for different things? So we need to know what the word material means in science. The word material means what things are made out of. So again, let's think back to that desk. What materials are desks made out of? Wood and metal. Those are the materials that an engineer used to build something. I spy. So here is what you're going to do. I'm going to tell you a material, what something is made out of. I want you to look around your room, your house, wherever you're doing your work from, and think, is there anything around me that's made out of this material? Let's start with the first one. Metal. Is there anything around you that's made out of metal? I have a holder on my desk that's made out of metal. Is there anything in your house made out of metal? The next material we can talk about is wood. Now, I already told you the desks in my classroom, the top of them, are made out of wood. What is there in your house or room that's made out of wood? Let's keep thinking about it. The next thing is cloth or fabric. What do you have that's made out of cloth or fabric? I have my clothes and I have my mask. All of those things are made out of cloth, which we can also call fabric. The next thing is plastic. I'm looking around to see if I have anything near me made out of plastic. I think that this marker cap is made out of plastic. What do you have around you that's made out of plastic? And the last material that I can think of is glass. I know that the windows in my classroom are made out of glass. Do you have windows in your house made out of glass? What else in your house is made out of glass? Keep those things in mind. All right, so we talked about engineers being a scientist who invents, designs, or builds something to solve a problem. And material are what things are made out of. We just talked about materials. We talked about metal, plastic, glass, wood, and cloth. Those are all materials. They're what things are made out of. Now, this unit is called properties of materials. We learned what materials means. Let's talk about the word property. Property means traits of a material that we can observe with our 5 senses, which is sight, hearing, smelling, tasting, and touch. Now, there are a lot of things that I'm not going to use all of my senses to tell you about. If I was going to tell you about this material, plastic, I would not taste this, right? I'm probably not going to smell this, right? But I can look at it and I can say, this is shiny. See how it shines when I move it around? It's shiny, it's hard, it's smooth, and in this case, it's black. Now, I have another piece of plastic right here. It's shiny, it's hard, it's smooth, but it's purple. So sometimes the traits of a material can be changed. But when we're talking about plastic, most plastic is hard and shiny. So let's think back to the materials we talked about. What are some properties of metal that you can think of? If I have this basket here, it's metal. Is it dull or shiny? Do you think it's hard or soft? Is it flexible? Can I bend it? Those are properties that we want to be asking about. Let's think about wood. So I said that the tops of my desks are made out of wood. What at your house is made out of wood? Is it hard or soft? Is it smooth or rough? Is it flexible? Can you bend it? I want you to ask those questions to yourself when you're thinking about materials. What about cloth? I'm looking at my mask here. It feels smooth, but it's soft, it's not hard, and I can move it around, which means it's flexible. What about plastic? Let's look at that marker cap again. I have this marker cap. Even though it's hard, it is a bit flexible. I can kind of move it. Think about having a plastic water bottle. Sometimes you can squeeze it. We're going to use the word flexible to describe that. And the last material I want you to think about the properties of is glass. Is glass hard or soft? Is it smooth or rough? Is it flexible? Keep thinking about those questions. Now, here is where you need to have something to write with and on. So if you do not have that yet, pause the video and go get it. Now, we are going to play a game called Mystery Material, and after this video, you're going to put your answers in the assignment on your Google Classwork. So make sure you're writing down your answers so you know how to answer them when you get to your assignment. I'm going to tell you some properties of a material. I want you to think about those properties and see if you can think what that material is. What material could I be talking about? Here are the properties. This material is white. It's usually a rectangle. It's dull, it's not shiny. It's smooth, and it's flexible. I can fold this material and I can rip this material. It's white, it's a rectangle, it's dull, it's smooth, and I can fold or rip it. What material might I be talking about? I want you to write that down as Mystery Material A. Then when you go to your classwork, you're going to type in what you think I'm talking about for Mystery Material A. Now, Mystery Material B is this right here. I want you to look at it and think to yourself, what material is this? Not what object is it? I know it's a cup, but what material is this cup made out of? For Mystery Material B, Think about what material this cup is made out of and write down 3 properties of this material. Is it hard or soft? Is it flexible? What color is it? Is it smooth or rough? Write down 3 materials of mystery material B. Pause this video if you need a little more time. And our last one, mystery material C. Look at this here. What material is this? I want you to write down 3 properties, 3 traits about this mystery material here. After you've written down your properties, I want you to head back to Google Classroom, go to the classwork tab, and find the mystery material assignment. You are going to type in your answers for mystery material A, B, and C. I cannot wait to see what properties you come up with for the mystery materials, and I will see you next time. Bye, Kipster.